could have directed that movie.
That's a lie.
And I love the idea that Jordan Peele called you up and said, I got something. And tell me what he said to you.
This has to be one of the greatest pitches in history of studio history. No lie. 6 words. Black man infiltrates Ku Klux Klan. That was it.
And you said yes?
I said, is this true? Because I would have thought automatically about David Chappelle, the blind black guy in the Klan. And then he said, it's true. And I never heard of Ron Stallworth, know his story. I know he had written a book, but so this is my first time I became aware of who he was, and I think heroic thing he did too.
So I wondered if you had a sort of eye-blink moment where you saw the story and you went, oh my God, I know exactly what to do with this.
Well, Kevin Wilmot and I, we co-wrote the script that had been written previously.
He did Chirac with you.
Yes, and so it was very simple. We knew that for this film to be successful, we had to tie together the past with the world we live in today. Because these people, they're just refitting what's been done before. America First is not a new slogan. The Klan was saying in the 1920s about immigrants. So all this stuff has just been recycled based upon hatred and fear. And one of the things I think people missed when this film first came out was that the concentration was sort of like, this is something that's, especially in Cannes, and you were there, that this is something peculiar to the United States of America. But you just look at the election just in Brazil, this guy's, it's all over this phenomenon of the right. And the thing that's the common thread now is immigrants, because you always got to have the scapegoat. These people are the reason why we can't be as great as a country as, So it wasn't hard for Kevin and I to tie stuff together. And then on August 11th, we saw the murder of Heather Hare and a car which was a murder weapon. And we saw an act of homegrown American terrorism. Americans have been hoodwinked into thinking that terrorism has something to do with some Islamic terrorist group. Americans terrorize Americans. Also, the numbers came out, I think last week, hate crimes have escalated since Agent Orange. I don't call him by his name. Don't do it. I don't do it.
He's like Voldemort.
Hate crimes have escalated since he's been in office. Yep. And it's my belief that if Agent Orange, as you saw at the end of this film, Agent Orange had a chance to repudiate hate, to repudiate the KKK, the alt-right neo-Nazis, he didn't do it. The whole world saw that. He didn't do it. And it's my belief, what he didn't do directly has led to these spikes. No pun intended. Please, I'm not joking. It's a serious matter. People getting murdered.
What's cool about this movie is that while it does have a humorous bent, it is serious as a heart attack.
Right.
And I understand that you decided to make the movie before there was even a green light. That you knew what your schedule was. It was pretty.
To make this film?
And that you got going with Kevin. You got started right away.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Annie dear. Can I ask you a question? Who called me on the phone?
Jordan Peele.
The film was green light. I mean, how much did Get Out make? Google, somebody Google quick.
It's like 50 domestic, 75 overseas. It's a lot.
I don't know where those numbers are you got, but it made more than that.
It's over. Somebody got it? Oh.
See, that's that studio stuff right there. That's that studio shenanigans, skullduggery, subterfuge. They get funny with the numbers. Anyway, there's no way in the world with Jordan Peele being a part of this film is not getting greenlit.
And Jason Blum.
Yes, I cannot. Jason Blum too. He's killing the game. So.
And you're back at your old home, Universal.
What?
Back at your own old home, Universal. Do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's a different regime. Different regime.
Okay, so you did it fast. Pollock.
Yes, Tom Pollock, my man. Do the Right Thing. Crooklyn, Mo Better, Jungle Fever, those all under Tom Pollock. And I just always like to give out a shout out to Tom, because many of you might have forgotten, weren't aware that when Do the Right Thing premiered in Cannes, right away, journalists and people were saying, other people, that this film was going to incite riots, that Do the Right Thing was going to make black folks go amok. And there was serious pressure on Tom Pollock not to release the film, or at least don't release in summertime, because you know how they are. And also, what people don't remember is that this is after Last Temptation of Christ. And Tom Pollock had death threats behind that film. So he could easily say to me, Spike, I can't do this shit again. You know, my family, get death threats, I gotta have bodyguards. He said, no, Spike, we're putting the film out. And it was released June 30th, 1989, the same day as Batman.
Wow.
And next year, June 30th, will be the 30th anniversary of Do the Right Thing. We're having a big block party, so come to Brooklyn. The block party is on the same block. Do the Right Thing was shot in one block. And 4 years ago, New York City renamed that block Do the Right Thing Way.
Yeah.
First time ever in the history of New York City that streets were named after films. So you're welcome to come to the People's Republic of Brooklyn, New York, next June 30th. It's free.
Right there.
So as far as the challenges of making this film, you were winding in a lot of different things into a very complicated narrative and following these characters and making sure that you were sometimes getting some laughs, but also making sure you didn't undercut the stuff you really wanted everyone to recognize. Talk about how you did that.
Well, I had to give love to my longtime editor, Barry Brown, who cut Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, Inside Man, I mean, all the joints. So the humor is an important part of this film, but it wasn't like we weren't sitting around writing jokes. The humor comes organically from the premise, which is absurd. And absurdity can lead to humor. Again, the Jordan Peele pitch. Black man infiltrates Ku Klux Klan. So when you hear that, it's like, did he paint himself white? I mean, that's what people think. Especially when I tell my friends what the premise was. So the humor comes organically from the premise. So that made it a lot easier. As I said before, Norman and Petty, we weren't writing jokes. And this is not the first film in the history of cinema, at least American cinema, that has dealt with a very serious subject matter and had the humor. One of my favorite filmmakers, Stanley Kubrick. We go to Dr. Strangelove. I mean, what could be more serious than the extinction of the human race, as you know, because of nuclear holocaust? I mean, Peter Sellers in that film, and the lines like, "There's no fighting in the war room." I mean, so it's been done before. But what Barry had to work on is the balance. You have to find the right balance between the humor and the serious subject matter. So that was the difficulty, find the right balance.
Because there's some scenes like Adam Driver in the basement, he's really scared. He's in danger.
Yeah.
It's not funny at all. He plays a character, you're dealing with all sorts of interesting white Jewish identity issues there.
But here's the thing, and it comes from, we didn't just, came out just out of nowhere. It came from passing. And John David, can we get it for John, please? The son of Pauletta and Benjamin.
Were you first cast in Malcolm X at age 6?
6, yeah, he had one line. My name is Malcolm X. But the whole thing came, the balance and tone, so that we just had to work on it.
Yeah. Well, talk about the interaction between him and...
Oh, let me finish, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you want to get one.
Yeah. So we came up with, first of all, Ron Stallworth is passing. So passing is a big thing here. People change their names, all types of stuff, especially if you're an immigrant. If you came here at a certain time in this country, if you were Jewish, Italian, Irish, you can change your name. Because you're applying for a job, they look at that name and like, you're not getting this job. And so we were in another thing we wanted to do. We did not want to make another white-black buddy cop film. Did not want to do that. So we had to bring complexity to the characters. And so that came to pass. And so Adam, not only is Adam Driver's character passing as the black Ron Stallworth, he's also, throughout his life, he's denied his heritage, his Jewish ancestry. So that's a great revelation for him, because until he's been in this case and seen firsthand the bigotry that the Klan has for Jewish people too, that made him wake the fuck up. And I like to say that I've been totally shocked how some Jewish people come up to me and said, "I know the Klan hated Jewish people." I'm like, WTF? You're number 2 in line. And then, why would Jewish people vote for this guy? Come on now. Or that party. I don't know about you, but that swastika means something. I feel about the swastika the same thing I feel about that flag, which you see at the beginning of the film, and one of the most greatest shots ever in cinema, from Gone with the Wind. I feel the same way about the Stars and Bars. So, next question.
So I spoke to Topher Grace, and he admitted that he had a lot of anxiety going into the audition with you, and actually felt like he had to apologize to you before he started saying some of the hateful things that he had to say.
I wrote them, so.
Yeah. You gave him permission.
To me, if you see, I gotta give credit to my guy, Martin Scorsese. you look at his films, the way his characters, it's not him. The way the Tyler Perry characters talk about black folks, that's where I got that stuff from. He's fucking moving on. Jake, we need to come all the way to fucking Detroit. Beat by fucking moving on over here.
Was there something liberating about being able to just say whatever the fuck you wanted to say?
But here's the thing though. It's not me.
Right.
I mean, I've heard these words. And that's why at the end of the film, we have Ron Stove. He has like a notepad. And so you see him looking at his notepad, like he had written down all these epithets he had heard being on the case. And so some of this stuff, I mean, it's so absurd that you know it's serious, but then sometimes just laugh at it because it's just stupid, you know. And maybe you might have heard growing up, sticks and stones break my bones. Words hurt. Words hurt, and they can be used as weapons. And we wanted to show that, you know, one of the many things, and we wanted to show that too.
So what would have been the scene that was the most difficult to pull off, or the one that you felt proudest of in this film that was tricky, really challenging?
Well, I will tell you, I don't know if I'm going to answer the question the way you asked it, but we did a scene in this movie that's never been done before. A love scene. A married Klan couple in bed. Pillow talk. That's never. Somebody tell me if it's saw a scene like that before. Never. Or Spanish people here. Nunca. That's never done before. And another thing people not got hip to is that she was channeling Lionel Richie. That song, Close to You,
Yeah.
she said, you give me direction, purpose. You know the song? She was channeling Lionel Richie in her husband's arms. And then another funny line. I mean, it's not funny, but it is funny. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty on freedom, niggas at last. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King. I mean, I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so
since-
give
since-
me the
since-
history of your signature shot.
since-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is never, I feel we've talked about it a lot, but now it's only happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna kill some niggas. Bed talk, Klan bed talk.
So what is the history of your signature shot? Your
So the double dolly
Yeah,
shot,
yeah, yeah.
I did not make it up. I did not make it up. What happened, the first time we did it was on Mountain, it was on Mo Better Blues. The shot with my character, Giant, had to walk down the block. And Ernest Dickerson, you got Ernest Dickerson? Ernest and I, we graduated from NYU Graduate Film School, 1982. It was Ernest, Ang Lee, and me, all in the same class. And I don't care what that what was it? Some magazine said USC is the best film school. Get the fuck out of here. Well, we were like, it was USC, AFI, and some other. Then why you came in fourth? Crack and K2 is a terrible combination.
No, but you do talk about the dolly shot, the double dolly thing.
Yeah, so when we did it the first time, it was just like showing off. And then Ernest and I said, you know, we're gonna use this, we gotta do it. Has to be motivated. So some of the best sequences prior to this is Denzel Washington and Malcolm X. There's a story behind that. The late great Dr. Betty Shabazz, Malcolm's widow, who I became very close with while we were making the film, she told me that she thought her husband, Malcolm X, knew he was going to be assassinated that day when he came to the Audubon Ballroom, and that his death was served as going to be a martyr. So I was shook when she told me that. So me and Ernest talked about it. I said how we could convey Malcolm's mental state. No one's going on execution. And we said the double dolly shot. True story. But this is a good one too.
You know, it's a little bit like John Woo's Doves, you know? It's like you gotta, he's John Woo with the Doves, you gotta put it in every movie. Do you put it in every movie? No.
Not everyone.
Yeah. So the music is also
Terrence Blanchard.
a better soundtrack. It's a beautiful score. Beautiful score.
A long-time composer. Terrence, Branford Marsalis, Wynton, and Donald Harrison, all based the same age. They left New Orleans and moved to Brooklyn. They moved to Fort Greene, where I was. And so they knew my father, Bill Lee, my father, great composer, jazz bassist. He'd done the scores for my films, NYU. Then he did She's Gonna Have It, School Days. He wrote that song, Straight Nappy, Do the Right Thing and Mo Better. So, not Wynton, but Terrence, Branford, Donald Harrison played on my father's soundtracks in the orchestra for School Days, Do the Right Thing, where we featured Branford, and Mo Better Blues. So in Mo Better Blues, when you see Denzel playing the trumpet, that's Terrence. Now you see Wesley playing the sax, that's Branford Marsalis. So we were doing the pre-record for Mo Better Blues, and Terrence at the piano, and he played this beautiful melody. I said, what is that? He said, it's called Sing Soweto, Soweto in South Africa. I said, well, use that. So that became Bleak Gilling's theme. And then after that, you know, he's been doing the scores ever since.
How would you say this score is different from some of his other ones, and what did you want him to accomplish with
Well,
it?
Terrence is a great trumpet player. So this is like the first one where we didn't feature trumpet. We had a guitar, and that was his idea.
All right. So do you want to ask some questions, folks? If you want to raise your hand, we'll get right there. Yep.
Hi, I'm Tasha.
You just gotta speak up.
Yeah.
Loud.
Yeah, I wanted to know, were you, did David Duke or anybody from the Republican Party or anyone portrayed on here ever reach out to you?
No, David Duke called up Ron Stallworth. We had a conversation.
Back recently?
Before the movie came out.
Oh,
What happened?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were just talking like, you know what's crazy? He said he likes my films.
Of course he did.
That's not the 2 thumbs up I need right now.
Well, your movie came out in the summer. Focus Speakers did a good job. You opened it well.
Yeah.
It did well.
But
You wanted to be out on the anniversary of
yeah,
Charlottesville.
he has a podcast, so he called up Ron and they had a conversation.
Wow.
So he was worried. He's worried how he's going to be portrayed. It's kind of too late for that, buddy.
Sir.
You mix a whole bunch of different moods, feelings, treatments. You go everywhere from wild comedy to the most somber things we've ever seen on film in that one film. As you are making it, are you putting together edits to see if it's going to work, or do you just trust it, or are you panicked the entire time?
Are you looking at edits as you're shooting and to modulate as you go?
No panic over here.
Well-
I'm going, oh, I'm going to go my 4th decade as a filmmaker.
Oh,
No panic over here. I have skilled people around me. Me and Barry Brown were never panicking at in the room. And again, I said it was just finding the right tone, right balance. But we knew we had the material. So you gotta trust yourself. You know, your athletes say that, but it's the same thing. You gotta trust. I'm out here learning my craft and trying to get better every film. You just gotta, I won't say trust the process like the Philadelphia 76ers, but just gotta trust yourself and know that your responsibility to tell a story. And tell a story the best way you can. But to answer your question about a lot of different stuff, I don't do just one thing. As far as it has to be this. I like to mix shit up, so that's more interesting to me. So it's not like another sports analogy, a fastball right down the middle. I mean, it might be curveball, all that stuff. So.
When you're shooting, are you asking your actors or giving them the opportunity to try many different interpretations? Are you doing many takes?
No, we don't do a lot. Yeah,
You go fast.
you gotta have a big budget to have a lot of 100 takes, lighting a cigarette. Don't ask me.
All right, I'm gonna go for that white shirted person with their hand up. Yep. Chase Rubin?
Yes, Trace is the DP for this film. Young DP, and in fact, I saw something that he did, even though it was him. He shot a large part of Beyonce's Lemonade.
oh.
And so we just vibed, and I told him that this film is shot on film. Kodak
And
and Hubble looked this up. I wanted, with the period piece, it's digital, a period piece, we want to do that. I wanted the film look like the films of the 70s that I love. Even if I want to be a filmmaker, just going to the movie theater. French Connection, Dog Day Afternoon, sort of like, I wanted that look. And for me, you can't get that grit, that funk, with that stank, as they say. With digital, it's too clean. When you expose, film goes through chemicals. You can't get that for me electronically. I shot films of digital, but for this film, we wanted it to be film. So Chase, great young DP, and he's gonna be doing this thing for many, many years to come.
All right. Yep.
Hey, so congratulations, second time seeing the film.
Thank you.
The end scene at the cross with the close-up in the eyes, when you're looking up that one hood, why can I not help that I'm looking at I'm sorry.
Adam Driver?
Yes.
Looking at what?
Adam. It just looks,
No, his character's not at the crossbar.
Well, let's talk about the debate about the ending. You
I
wanted to do
I know. There was a certain train of thought. Oh, here goes Spike again. Didactic, beating a dead horse. Why does it have to be so So, why can't it be more subtle? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't live in times of subtlety. And look what happened after Charlottesville. As I said earlier, hate crimes have gone up. Letter bombs being sent to people. Synagogue, Pittsburgh, people murdered. Again, what happened in Pittsburgh is another example of homegrown apple pie American terrorism. That's why we needed that ending. This is not, I don't know, shit ain't subtle now. Right? The world we live in today is bananas. Insane.
Are you feeling at all optimistic right now after the election?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Growing up, one of my favorite genres was World War II films as a kid. And so, this past midterm election was the Allies landing on Normandy. And so like any war, you gotta fight yard by yard, and so I think we'll be all right. But we gotta keep moving forward because that 2020 presidential election, I think it's gonna be for the battle for the soul of America.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's hyperbole either. 2020, this shit's gonna be about the very soul of this country. Are we gonna go with love or hate? This isn't just crazy that someone get elected to say that all Mexicans are rapists, drug dealers, and murderers. It says that to keep you drug dealers, murderers, rapists out, you gotta build a wall. And then you're gonna pay for it too.
No way.
Not having it, right? Fuck out of here. And I don't want to use the word caravan. I'm gonna say, I'm using a different term. Freedom seekers. That these people come in here and they're Mid-Easterners. Code word, ISIS, Islamic terrorists. That's a lie. ISIS ain't in this.
No.
That's some BS. So, and I never thought that this saying that if you tell a lie enough, it becomes the truth. But he might be right about that. Another thing H. Arms is right about, when he said in the election, he said, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue, shoot somebody, and I'll still get elected. Can you come up with a better analogy, or did the NRA tell you to say that? He said this. He was right about it. I can stand on Fifth Avenue, shoot somebody, and people still vote for me.
And he said there's good and bad on both sides. How can you have a good side on a Ku Klux Klan and a
Right.
Nazi side? Who are the
Right.
good people on that side? I'm
Again.
a Jew. I hate him. I hope he drops dead today, that motherfucker.
Dropping an MF bomb over here. But here's the thing, though. Thank you for that comment. There is a reason why we had that coda. Throughout history, the president of modern history at least, the president of the United States has been called the leader of the free world.
Yep.
the leader of the free world, with the murder of Heather Heyer, he had a chance to denounce. He didn't do it. He had a chance to denounce hate, denounce the KKK, the alt-right, the Klan, and he probably made the decision that that's my base,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm not gonna.
Those are his voters.
Yeah. Spike,
Yes.
it is time for us to end this, and it is time for him to get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah!